Hello and welcome back to On The Rocks. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode where we're not having any sort of fancy little introduction of me on the phone to someone. We want to get straight into things today to talk about contracts with some of our players. Today's episode, though, is a slight change to the schedule. We are playing Man City and Celtic in the Champions League and Scottish Premier League instead of RB Leipzig because I forgot I was meant to record that one and just played it off camera anyway, and then, issues were had. Just got into a rhythm of playing games and was really enjoying it. I was building a whole new tactic for the Leipzig game. Forgot I was meant to save the game and then stop and then start talking to you guys instead. Played it instead. But actually, Man City versus Celtic should be a bit more of an interesting game for us today. And actually, you get to see the new tactic in both games, I would imagine. But before we talk about contracts, let's go through what's happened since you guys were last here for the wins over RZ and Kilmarnock. We started things off with a 3-3 draw away from home to Rangers, which was a superb result given the fact that Brooke Norton-Cuffy was sent off in the 4th minute of that game. So to get a 3-3 draw away from home to Rangers was superb. Very happy with that one. We then had a fantastic September, as you can see, battering Dundee 3-0, battering Dinamo 3-0, battering Hearts 4-1, battering Kilmarnock in the Betfred Cup quarter-final 3-1, and then battering Livingston 3-1. It was fantastic to see. A month of fantastic fixtures there set us up for a fantastic 3-1 victory away from home to RB Leipzig. You can see here next to my head, we played a different formation, which I sort of built, and I'll talk you through that in a moment's time. So contracts and tactics, everything to talk about in today's episode. We then beat St Johnstone 3-2 in a bit of a nervy game before coming to a 1-1 draw with Hamilton, which was not a very good result for us at all. But given the results we'd had in the meantime in between episodes, I'm pretty happy with it. What it means for the league table is that we currently sit top of our league table, as you can see, on 23 points. Still not lost a game this season. Neither have Rangers. Celtic have lost one, but they are just 1 point behind us. So if they beat us today, they'll go ahead of us in the table. In terms of the Champions League, well, we've won 2 games so far. On 6 points, it's looking very comfortable for us. Much better than I thought it would be. There's a good chance we might actually qualify from our Champions League group, which would be absolutely extraordinary. Celtic, on the other hand, as you can see, are not doing quite so well. They sit bottom of their group on 0 points, so that's not much fun. In the Europa League, Rangers are currently 3rd in their group on 2 points, so hopefully they can get some results against RZ, Genk and Montpellier. We beat RZ, so surely they can beat RZ and get some points against them. Fingers crossed. And then in the Europa Conference League, only Hamilton are there, but they currently sit 2nd in their group on 6 points so far, so good stuff for them. Right, let's start talking about contracts. And the first one to talk about is Tam McLumber, who wants to discuss an improved contract for him, and I am more than happy to give him a bigger contract. He's currently on 2.2 grand a week, but he's a wonder kid. He's valued at £8 million. He is one of our most consistent and regular starters. So for me, it's a no-brainer to discuss a new contract with Tam McLumber. It's a fair request. We'll kick things off in the near future, i.e. now. He's probably going to want a very big contract, off a new contract. He just wants to be an important player. We'll get rid of the give a big wage rise thing. So let's promises, finalise those promises. And he wants only £5 grand a week, which is beautiful. Has got a release fee clause of 10 million, which we can remove and exclude. Please get rid of that. I'm happy to give him £7 grand a week after 5 international appearances. I'll be honest with you, it seems like a very, very nice contract over 5 years for a player as good as Tam McLumper. So I'm going to suggest it. You now want £6 grand a week instead of the 5 because we've got rid of that release fee clause. If you drop it down to 6, keep it at 7, suggest, you love to see it. Beautiful contract. So that was very quick and easy. Fingers crossed Tam McLumper is happy with that one. Now we need to look at the team and look at the minimum fee release clauses for foreign clubs that we need to get rid of for Admilson, Enrique and La Cruz. Now obviously they all signed this summer, apart from Admilson who signed last January, and he's wanted, who's he wanted by? PSG. Oh, okay. Well, let's try and get these release fee clauses out of the contracts. I mean, if we sell him for £20 million to PSG, that is £20 million worth of profit. So it's not the worst deal in the world. Why has he got no appearances he's played plenty of games this season. Why does that say no appearances for Admilson? I mean, you can see in his form, he's literally playing plenty of games. I don't know why it doesn't say on the history. That's weird, isn't it? Either way, offer a new contract to him. Important player is fine. Let's get rid of the strength and attackers. Let's get rid of the players, the ball-playing defender. I'm happy to give you a big wage rise. I'm going to get rid of it for now, though. Suggest he's happy. Negotiate the contract. Now, annoyingly, he has locked in a release fee clause. We can't get rid of this release fee clause. Which makes me think, do I want to give him that new... Yes, actually, I do. I'm going to lock it in. Just bring it up as high to 28 million. We can take it from 20 to 28 million. That's the best we can do right now. We'll give him what he wants. It's a pretty cheap contract for a player as good as him. But I think limiting factor right now. We can always offer him a contract in the second half of the season, try and get rid of the release fee clause. But I think for now, we have to do this just to really try and protect our interests. I mean, £28 million for him would be great. I'd take that, I think. It doesn't really fill me with confidence, though, for Enrique and La Cruz. Hopefully they want to get their release fee clauses out of the contract. Caio Enrique, star player, that's absolutely fine. Negotiate promises. And again, he's just locked it in at 23. What's he currently on? 19. And he's currently on 26 grand a week. He'll be on 20. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's an extra 3.5 million in case he does go. Again, it's a limiting factor. I think we maybe do it. And we then offer him a new contract in, you know, October, November. Just later down the line, essentially, to try and get rid of this. We'll just keep offering them contracts to keep at least raising the release fee clause. If all we can do is raise it, that's the best we can do. So we'll just keep doing things like that. Hopefully the Cruz wants to get his release fee clause out of the contract. Regular starter, he wants to have a stepping stone. Get rid of that, please. Suggest, and we can get rid of that release fee clause. Now that's perfect for us. He's currently on 8 grand a week. 10 grand is fine. You can have a seasonal landmark bonus. Get rid of that yearly wage rise. Unused substitute fee is a bit high. Get rid of it. So he want more money per week, won't he? He wants 12.5 now. How about 11? Suggest he's happy. Okay, that one is sorted. His release fee clause is gone. If we then sort it by expiry date, there are a couple of decent players leaving at the end of the season if they don't sign new contracts. Herrera, Torres, Portilla, Thad McRae. Oh, there's quite a lot actually who are very good. Let's try and sort them out now. So I think I'm happy to keep Alan Campbell at the club. I think he's a very good rotational player at least to keep at the club. So offer a new contract to him. Not as a star player, regular starter. And he's not going to like that. He's gone straight back to star player. Can we make him an important player? He's happy with important player at least. And I think I'm happy with that too. A 5-year deal seems a little long. How about 4 years on 10 grand a week? Get rid of the unused substitute fee. He's not going to like this at all, is he? He wants 5 years. 4 years on 10. Come on, you can do it. He's locked in 5 years. Okay, 5 years on 10 then. And he's happy with that. Okay. We'll have him until he's 32, but I imagine we'll probably sell him before that. Johnny Herrera. Now, obviously, loads of clubs wanted him. He's probably not going to want to sign a new contract with us, although he is. He does want to, which is good. We'll keep him around at the club as a regular starter. He's happy with that. Get rid of that release fee clause. Get rid of the yearly wage rise. Everything else can stay the same. Suggest, you know, wants a lot more money. Bring it down to 5 grand a week. He wants, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Get the appearance fee down. Goal bonus can go, if you score a goal, have a grand, lad. You can have that. And assist, if you get an assist, have a grand. He's not going to get many goals or assists. Clean sheet, bring it down to 1. And you can keep the team of the year. Does he have any international appearances? 4 actually. So maybe get rid of the international appearance bit. Remove and exclude. Remove and exclude. You can go up to 6.5 after 10 international games if you want. And he's almost happy apart from the wage, which he is now happy with. Great deal. Mike Taggart, need to give him a new contract as well. I love this. This is just going to become a contract development episode. We're going to spend so long doing these contracts, but I think it's important as Mike Taggart. I mean, that's a very conveniently nice contract for him. Very cheap, very good. Get rid of some of those clauses. 1.2 grand a week, sorted. Harry Storm, another player we want to keep at the club who just can't catch a break at the moment. He's currently out for another 7 weeks with a hip injury. It's his 4th long-term injury in 3 seasons, I think. If we sort it by severity, yeah, his 4th major injury there. He's got an awful lot of them over the past few years, and all these major ones have come recently. So he just can't catch a break, Harry Storm, which is probably affecting his ability a little bit. But we'll give him a new 5-year deal on 2.5 grand a week. That seems like a pretty good deal to me. You love to see it. Juan Torres, now he probably won't want to sign a new contract with us, and he does. He does want to sign a new contract as an important player. He's locked in a big wage rise, but that's absolutely fine by me. There's no release fee clause in there, and his big wage rise that he wants is only £6,000 a week. So, again, let's just get rid of that. Bring the appearance fee and a clean sheet bonus down. Suggests he wants a bit more money now. How about £5,500 a week? He's had brilliant deal for Juan Torres. Brian Portier is a weird one, but I'd rather have him on a contract for another few years and sell him rather than let him go. He's not really developed, but is a good squad player to have. So offer a new contract. He wants to be, I say we try and make him a regular starter, not an important player. He's happy with that. He'll probably go down to something else later down the line. He just want a big contract though for what he's going to be. I say like 4.7 appearance and clean sheet down to 1k. Suggest, look, he wants £7,000 a week now. We'll give you the same terms as Juan Torres. Same terms as Juan Torres. Take it or leave it. And he's not going to take it. He's going to really hardball me here until bigger contract. He wants 6.25. Come on, lad. He's agreed to that. That's probably a bit too much for him, but I'd rather keep him for his potential for now. Fab McRae needs a new contract as well. Offer a contract to him. I mean, we're not letting anyone go this season by looks of things. We're keeping everyone, but I'm happy with the players. They're all really good. Got lots of potential on them. Thad on £3,000 a week, please. That looks good to me. 3.2, 3.4. He's happy with that. Amazing. And then finally, Robert Didao, a new contract for this lad. Let's get rid of these loan clauses in there as well because we want to keep them at the club and negotiate the contracts on £1.3 a week. Wage rise, get rid of, you know, it's a bit high actually, those. Take them down a little bit, get rid of that. Get rid of that. That looks like a good offer to me. Suggest it. He now wants more money again. Robert Didao's hardballing me a bit here. You know what? I'm getting rid of these in future. You can have 1.5 grand. He didn't really negotiate very hard there, did he? I just took away all opportunity for him to make more money in the future, and he's fine with it. So we've actually offered contracts to everyone there, haven't we? Who's expiring at the end of the season, which is good, and also sorted out some contracts with release fee clauses, at least making some of them bigger. Tampa Lumpers on a new deal too. This has turned out to be a contract special, not a transfer special, a contract special. Anyway, we'll finally get into a game now, and I can finally explain to you our new counter-attacking formation, which looks like this. Before, we have been playing a 5 at the back with like the wing backs, but we didn't really have any decent wing backs, if I'm honest with you. So I've gone back to a 4 at the back system, and I think that's a good baseline to have. We then have a 3-man midfield because Borges can actually play right wing very well. Gordon or anyone else can't really play left midfield. I think La Cruz might be able to, but he's currently injured, isn't he? La Cruz, or just coming back from injury actually, which is quite nice. He can play on the left wing, however, he's not fit enough to play yet. So Gordon will play a bit further up, but I think ordinarily we might move him back to La Cruz in this position. Essentially though, this formation is all about trying to soak up some pressure and then use all the pace that we have in the world to get the ball forward quickly. So Borges, for example, has got 17 pace. He is rapid. Gordon has got only 13 pace, but normally we'd be playing La Cruz, who has got also 13 pace. Not the quickest player, but Ben Knight, he's got lots of pace. He's got 15 pace, which is pretty decent. We've got Taylor here, who has got 18 pace. He is rapid. Torres isn't really getting forward much, but he's got 13 pace, which isn't bad. Admilson has got 11 pace, but again, he's a fullback, so not really getting forward too much. Though we're trying to utilise the pace that our players have. Ben Knight, we talk about him, he's got 15 pace, so he's quite quick. So essentially what we're trying to do is force the opposition wide to get balls into the middle for our like 6 foot a million centre-backs to nod the ball out. And then once they've done that, or maybe the keeper gets onto the ball instead, the whole point of it is to then just be really quick in transition. We really try and press, we really try and distribute quickly, we try and counter, we try and do everything essentially to get the ball really high tempoed forward. I'm not really explaining it very well. Basically, we're just trying to invite some pressure onto us, soak it up, and then quickly bomb it out of the pitch and just try and do something with it. And it worked pretty well against Leipzig. So we're going to give it a go today against the team Manchester City in the Champions League. So Bazunu starts in goal with a backline of Admilson, Suva, Caio Henrique and Torres. Borges, Winks and Tam McLumper in the middle, with Knight and Gordon just in front, and Taylor playing as a complete forward on support, because I feel that supportive role connects the midfield a little bit better, and of course having a complete forward as opposed to like a deep line forward means he just does more stuff, I guess. Either way, that's the team, that's formation. I don't think I've really explained it very well, but I had to do it pretty quickly. I've already taken up 20 minutes doing contracts, so we need to get into today's episode properly. So as kickoff is upon us today, Man City playing a very narrow formation actually, and they've got a really, really good team, haven't they? A very good team compared to ours, as you can see. Let's get this game kicked off and underway, and as you can see, kickoff is upon us here today in Manchester, and although this tactic worked pretty well against Leipzig, I think it might just be a step too far still against teams like Man City, particularly as this formation is still pretty new to us. We're not properly set up with it just yet, as you can see, Sterling scoring a goal inside of 90 seconds. It might not work against the teams that are an awful lot better than us, like your Barcelonas, like your Man Cities, like your Real Madrids and stuff like that. However, we have just given away a penalty by looks of things, which is not ideal as well. It should work though against teams that are a bit better than us, like your Leipzigs, like your Celtics, for example. I think it could be a good formation to use. Maybe the first time we used it was a fluke, I don't know, but we've not conceded a penalty there, which is quite nice. It's a free kick instead, I think, but it's not on a highlight, so fine by me. Interestingly though, despite, being 1-0 down, we have limited City to only 2 shots, and we've had 2 shots ourselves. So actually, it's not like we are down and out this game at all. We had a bit of a slow start to it for some reason, but we are growing into it nicely as Torres finds Borges into Winks, back to Caio Henrique, who hoofs it forward towards, the defence had a bit of an issue there. As Borges gets in there, shoots, Ederson saves it on the line. He was nearly caught out there, but a good chance for us to try and get something out of this game. Instead, it's Man City now coming forward and not scoring. So although we are 1-0 down, looking at the match stats, it's actually really, really even. We've had slightly more possession, City with a couple of more shots, but you'd probably expect that because it is a counter-attacking formation for the most part, right? Hopefully, though, we're going to be on a quick counter-attack right now as Ben Knight on the ball plays it into Gordon. Gordon back to Tam McLumper. Forward to Admilson. Back to Gordon. Gordon to swing one into the middle. Surely gets past one. Gets past two. In the middle. It's kicked around and I don't really know what happened there, but it got cleared in the end. We're causing some issues in that Man City area. Tam McLumper taking one for the team there. Might be carded for that one. Is not carded for it, as you can see. Tam, you good lad. He is now, unfortunately, slightly injured with a potential foot injury, so we might take him off at half-time to protect him. Unlucky boys out there, and I think genuinely we have been very unlucky out there. Let's get him off for Lewis Ferguson, confirm the changes into the dressing room. You love to see it. Changes made. Let's go and have a decent second half and try and grab a draw as Ben Knight puts a corner in the middle. Caio Henrique hits the post. You hate to see it. That was very unfortunate there. Coming close though, which is nice to see as Leipzig are beating Dinamo. I tell you what, this formation's working nicely. I know we are 1-0 down, but that was just a lapse in concentration at the start. Man City are not running away with this at all, as we're going to bring La Cruz on for Ben Knight in a second, I reckon, as he looks a bit tired, apparently, according to my assistant manager. So we'll make those changes in a sec, as Winks on the ball, back to Torres. Torres over to someone, please. Gordon, you love to see it. Out to Gordon. Gordon coming forward. Gordon into Taylor. Taylor on the ball on the edge of the area. Out to Admilson. Admilson to Taylor. Taylor shoots and puts it just wide. We have had the better chances today. We're just not doing much with them, unfortunately, which is a big, big shame. And Admilson not playing the best today. We're going to take him off for Brooke Norton-Cuffy on the left-hand side. And then we'll also get Ben Knight off. He's looking a bit tired for... Let's swap him over with Gordon, maybe. Put Gordon through the middle and La Cruz out wide. Let's try that one. Although maybe we can move him back a little bit. See if he can just perform a little better further back. It might just help connect things. So with 15 minutes to go, a free kick from deep for Man City. Henrique clears it as Brooke Norton-Cuffy, it's a weird one to say, comes forward. Can he get a ball in the middle? He can. It's, not in the back of the net. We are squandering so many chances here today. We really should have got a goal out of this. Let's go a bit more attacking. Let's shout demand more for the final 10 minutes or so. I can't believe how unlucky we have been today. We should have had some goals out of this game. And that's just... They don't deserve to be 2-0 up. City really do not deserve to be 2-0 up in my opinion. I think we've played really well. This formation is great. It's just that no one was really defending Camavinga there. We just let ourselves down from that set piece. We let ourselves down at the start by not switching on quick enough. And despite Man City beating us, you know what? I'm happy with that performance. I think we played really well. So what I think we'll do is, I've only tested it so far against Leipzig and Man City, and both games we played very well. I think we give it a good go against Celtic and see what's going on there. Tammet though won't be playing in that game because he is injured for 10 days to 2 weeks with a damaged heel. We're going to go and rest everyone very quickly as well. Training rest 1 day. And hopefully we'll start to see some contracts being signed in the next few days before the Celtic game. If not, they'll all be done by next episode, I would imagine. But it'd be nice to see 1 or 2 of them getting signed in time for the Celtic game. We can celebrate by beating Celtic with plenty of new contracts. And as I say that, Harry Storm signs a new contract, so does Tam McLumper, and he's very happy with his new contract. He says, I finalised that promise. Tam, we love you. Brian Portier has been given a work permit, which means he's also signed a new contract. So has La Cruz. He's got a new contract with a bigger release. No, we got rid of his release fee clause, didn't we? We got rid of his release. Oh no, we got rid of his release fee clause, so that's a very good one for us too. Admilson gets his new contract with a bigger release fee clause, but that's fine because if PSG want to pay £28 million for him, we'll take the £28 million, I would imagine. So some good new contracts being signed. Kai Enrique's got to wait for a work permit, which is slightly concerning if he can't get a new work. I mean, he's got a contract until 2029 already, so it's not the worst thing in the world. We just want to get him on a bigger release fee clause or no release fee clause at all. Release fee clause is a weird one to say as well. When you say it so many times and new contracts so many times, it all becomes a bit of a blur in your mouth. And I feel like I'm saying it wrong every single time. But Taggart and Campbell also both signing new contracts. And there we go. Caio has been given a work permit. He's got his new contract as well. You love to see it. Everyone's happy. I'm very happy. I hope you guys are too. It's been a contract special bonanza. And now it's time to take on Celtic. And I think, for the most part, we will leave the lineup the same. Obviously, Tam's got to come off. And I think we'll take him off for Ferguson, bring Campbell on to the bench. I also want to get Fuentalba off the bench. And I want to bring maybe Portier onto the bench. Taylor apparently needs a rest. We'll leave him on for this game, but we'll take Gordon off, bring him further back and swap him over for La Cruz. The rest of the team might have to suck it up and play though, so there we go. Let's submit the team, go to the game and try not to avoid our first league defeat of the season. So as kickoff is upon us here today, this is a big game. Lose it and we lose the lead of the league table to Celtic. They'll go ahead of us by 2 points. Win it and we'll open up a 4-point gap to Celtic, which would be lovely to have at this point of the season. As Torres on the ball, can't quite find his man, but it luckily falls to Carlos Borges, who is helped incredibly much, that's not really a word. He's helped a lot by the keeper, essentially there. His shot, not the best. The keeper palms it into the back of the net there. Also massively helped out by the Celtic defenders kicking it into each other. And the keeper palming it into the back of the net. Very lucky goal to score there, but we're 1-0 up. Tell you what, this new formation I am happy with. I really think it's a good one. I think we've stumbled. I say stumbled. I think I've made something here which is pretty decent, as Caio Enrique gets a goal from a corner. I mean, actually, it's not that good. We did lose to Man City still, but I think we would have lost by a lot more if we'd played a different formation. But it plays to our strengths quite nicely. We've got some good passes in the team. We've got a lot of pace in the team. I think it does work quite well to get the ball forward quickly and utilise our strengths. In the meantime, Celtic looking to come forward, although their ball forward is not particularly good in the end as Bazunu collects it in his area. He hoofs it up towards Taylor, who nods it on to La Cruz out wide, who can put a ball into the middle. Does not the best ball in the world, but we do retain possession at the back with Winks now on it into Taylor, into Knight, into La Cruz, who shoots and scores. It's 3-0 now. You love to see it. I wasn't sure if it was 3 or 2 all of a sudden because the scoreboard didn't update in the corner. It has now updated. Celtic 0, Aberdeen 3. 4. We are absolutely unstoppable right now, and this is beautiful one-touch football, by the way. I mean, we're not quite unstoppable. We did lose to Man City. I do need to keep reminding myself that. We're not quite the best team in the world yet, but we're getting there. With all these new contracts signed, I think today's been a fantastic episode. We've got two, I think, really solid formations that suit as well. We've got a very good attacking formation with two strikers, and now it seems like we've got a pretty decent counter-attacking formation as well. We have conceded a penalty. Hopefully it won't matter too much. Can Bazunu save? He goes the right way but can't save it, unfortunately. And this is where all my talk and bravado as being absolutely fantastic and unstoppable is now going to come undone as Celtic look to come forward again at the start of the second half. Don't score at the first opportunity. Can they score at the, second opportunity as they get the ball at the back? They're going to hoof it clear, aren't they? They are going to pass it out quite nicely. Saliba into Hutton, out wide to Rossier, who gets the ball into the middle. They've nearly... Okay, I spoke too soon, and I'm now very concerned that Celtic are going to come forward and score another 3 goals and win the game 4-1. And they might do with... I spoke too soon, and the computer's listening to me. Oh, this is terrible. I take it all back. Please, Football Manager gods, something, just listen to me. I take it all back. We're not that good. We're rubbish. I mean, Celtic are actually dominating us in this game. More than Man City were, actually. So, that we've had 3 shots on target and they've all gone the back of the net. We've been very lucky so far this game. I take it all back. We are rubbish. We are the worst team in the world. Please don't lose now. As La Cruz on the ball into Admilson back to Ferguson into Borges, who I think is offside. He misses it anyway somehow, but he was offside. 20 minutes to go, and Taylor should probably come off the pitch. You know what? I do agree with that. We'll get Nisbet on, who can't really play as a complete forward. We'll play him. Batshuayi nearly scores as a deep lying forward instead. Let's make these changes. All right, Nisbet on. He can't play as a complete forward, so deep lying forward, it's going to be on support. Ferguson having a poor game as well on a 6.5. Alan Campbell comes on for him, as Juan Torres is also quite tired, and we're going to bring Norton Cuffy on for him. 15 minutes to go in this one. Let's not let ourselves down right now. We don't want to be 3-0 up and mess it all up. Come on, lads. Please. Come on. Let's get a challenge in there. So, this was coming. As soon as I said we're the greatest team in the world or something like that, this was coming. You can absolutely guarantee it was coming. And you know what? The 4th is coming too. I know it's going to come. The 4th is going to come in the 90th minute, and there's nothing we can do about it. Absolutely nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen as we approach the 90th minute, 5 minutes at a time. Watch for the highlight about to happen now. Oh, I was really hoping that would work. I just talked rubbish and it might have worked. And luckily, I mean, I still think today's episode has been really good. And I still really like this formation. It's just that we capitulated in the second half there. Good news though, we are still top of the table as it stands right now. So there's nothing too much to complain about. But all I'm going to say is it could have been a lot worse. Next episode then, I think we're going to come back for the Rangers game and then the RB Leipzig game, which will be the final group stage game. I imagine we'll probably lose to Man City again. We'll probably end up beating Dinamo. So this game against Leipzig could be pivotal in where we qualify in our group. So that'll be an exciting one to do tomorrow. So thank you ever so much for watching today. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.